Thank you, Tom, for that beautiful entry into our Singing for Racial Justice Week. Hello to everybody in the room. I'm so happy to see all of you here today. Welcome to the Daily Antidote of Song as we're approaching 700 days of singing together in this amazing family and community. I want to also welcome everybody out there on Facebook Live. Thank you so much for joining us all today. We are in for a real treat. Kicking our week off today, being hosted by the fabulous Elise Bryant of the Labor Heritage Foundation and being sung to and with by the fabulous Tom Prasada-Rao. More to come on both of them. I'm going to greet everybody. I'm so delighted to see you all, starting with Anna, who's running the tech for us today. Thank you, Anna, for being here. And of course, to Tom and to Elise, thank you both for being here. Hi, Annette in California. Hi, Cheryl. Nice to see you. Brian in Maryland. Hello. Deli. Hello. Nice to see you. Harriet, great to have you with us today. Hi, Dawn. I'm not sure if you're new to us. Great to see you. Kate in Charlottesville. Cliff and Lynn in Vermont. Susan in Seattle. Pam, hi in Maryland. Nice to see you. Hi, Sarah in Texas. Hi, Kirsten. Hi, Bonnie in Boise, Idaho. Hi, Kevin in New Hampshire. Day 673. Thank you for the count, Kev. Hi to Storm in Massachusetts, Karen in Oregon, Susan in Ohio, Julie in Ontario. Hello to Kate, nice to see you today, and Jamie in Victoria. Luda, hello in Victoria, nice to see you. Hi to Hoda in British Columbia, beautiful to see you. Deborah in Kentucky, Claire in Norwich, nice to have you with us today, the UK. Thanks for flying in to be here. Becky in British Columbia, Arlene in Berkeley, Carolyn in Boise, and Phil in Totnes, and Amanda and Miles in Michigan. Hello to Jenny and Ralph and Penny in Victoria. Hello and hello. Nancy, Rij, and friend coming in from Vermont. Nice to see you. Hello to a bunch of curly tops. Good to see both of you or all of you today. Hi to Sheila in Florida, Dan in Virginia. Hello, Norris. Nice to have you with us today. Ruth in England, Jim in New York City, Jean in Pittsburgh, Busy Graham for Carpe Diem Arts. Lovely to have you here today. Kath and Marion, hello. Nice to have you. Helen and Simke in Maryland. Hi, Doug in Vermont. Glad to have you with us again today. Gary in Massachusetts, Kathy in upstate New York. Glad to see you. And other folks still coming. Oh, Jim Harkless. Hello, nice to see you today, coming in from Maryland. Jim and I had a lovely glass of wine together last night. Joy, glad to have you with us today. We haven't seen you in a while. We're glad that you're back. And Carol in Connecticut, Lynn in Connecticut, and someone who's hiding behind my little number sign, Fran Andre. Fran, I'm so glad you joined us again today. Fran was hosting us all last week. And Nancy, which is Irish Cow in Washington, Nancy, Bronwyn in Victoria. Hi, Mommy in New Jersey. And folks off camera, Joni and Gretchen, and Rosalie, Gary, Jane, Lori, Katie, Dick and Kathy, and others maybe still coming in the room. Let's all take a deep breath and start off today by acknowledging that we had a loss in our community. For anyone who doesn't already know, we learned yesterday that Johnny Harper, who joined our community in the last few months, and who sang with us twice, once in an open mic and once in this room, died recently. I'm not sure exactly when, and I don't know anything more than that. Other than that, my heart is really broken. He was so fabulous and just joined this community with the kind of ferocity that I think really tells a lot about who we are and what we do. He came in actually via Storm, who told him to come on in and maybe he would get a singing gig out of the deal. And Johnny came for months just joining us and singing along. It just was a beautiful thing. And I'm super sad, and I know we're all sad too. So we're sending today's song out to him. And also, please look in the chat for another announcement that I'll make. We're going to sing another song for someone else tomorrow to help their healing. And I'm delighted to turn the floor over right now to one of the most lovely human beings I know, Elise Bryant, who is the head of the Labor Heritage Foundation and also head of the DC Labor Chorus, has hosted in this room, sung in this room, brought us fabulous singers. And Elise, sister, I love you to pieces. I'm handing it over to you. Thank you so much for being here.
Yes, thank you, Joe. Yay. Hey, family. How y'all doing? Greetings, greetings. It's an honor and a pleasure to be back here with you, and it's certainly an honor and a pleasure to welcome our guest today, Tom Prasada-Rao, who is just an outstanding singer who's been described as a virtual musical ensemble rolled into one guy, according to the Toma Park Folk Festival. And visually and musically, Tom is the most compelling presence to emerge in the singer-songwriter genre, as I've seen in a long time, said Jim Bestman of Billboard. And I can say with a clear conscience, I've been in the room with him years ago at the Tacoma Park Folk Festival, where he enchanted me like, strumming my fate with his fingers, singing my life with his song. And most recently, you came back on the radar with your song, $20 Bill. Thank you, Tom. And today you're bringing us God Has No Hands. Is that right?
That is right. Well, it's such an honor to be with you here today, Elise, and everybody. So nice to see your faces on the screen. And I'm honored to share this song with you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Take it away.
All right. Well, it's got a little bit of a singable chorus, so I don't know if you have the words in the chat or wherever, but in the third stanza of the lyrics, it starts off, God has no hands. So I'll just sing the chorus for you really quick, and then we'll start off. God has no hands. God has no hands. What are you praying for? Some people say the Lord has his ways, but God has no hands but yours. All right, so that's the chorus. So I'll just start at the top of the song, and feel free to sing along even if you don't know the melody to the verse or anything. Melodies are irrelevant sometimes anyway. It's just your heart that counts. Here we go. Do unto others, do unto others as you'd have them do for you. So it is written, if we just listen to the gospel truth. In every life there comes a time to practice what you preach. God has no hands. God has no hands. What are you praying for? Some people say the Lord has his ways, but God has no hands but yours. If someone asks you as they walk past you for the shirt right off your back, do something better, bring them to shelter, as if Jesus asked. For as you do the least of these, you do so unto me. God has no hands. God has no hands. What are you praying for? Some people say the Lord has his ways, but God has no hands but yours. Here's the bridge. God has no words. God has no voice. God has no heart. God has no choice without you. God has no hands. God has no hands. What are you praying for? Some people say the Lord has his ways, but God has no hands but yours. God has no hands but yours.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you, brother. Thank you.
Oh,
Thank you.
you're
Thank you.
welcome. You're so welcome.
Beautiful. Beautiful. So tell us a little bit about the song. How you come to write it?
It was I was at a retreat in Big Sur, California, at this place called Esalen. Some of you may have been there,
Mhm.
and it's just a really spiritual place to be. You know, you're right on the coast, overlooking the water, and you feel like you don't have a care in the world. You walk by these gardens with flowers,
Mm,
and your meals are being taken care of, and your only job when you're there is to be there and to create out of the abundance of your heart. And it's such a beautiful experience. I wished I could have shared it with everybody I knew.
mm,
And it was out of that sort of desire that this song came to be written. I was there teaching at a songwriters retreat, and I was telling him I had this yearning to write this song about the golden rule, and I didn't know how to get inside it, you know.
mhm.
And then somebody said something about the hands of God, and I was thinking, what if God didn't have any hands? What if we were God's hands?
Mm.
And so that's how I got inside the idea to write the song, you know, that God has no hands but yours. I know there's a really famous saying that goes something like that, so I'm sure somebody knows who to attribute it to, but so I can't claim originality or anything. All I can
Huh.
claim is just, you know, writing it into song form.
Uh-huh. Well, I don't know. I'm not sure, but the saying that it reminds me of is God gives you the boat and the paddles, but you have to row.
Well, that's brilliant too. That's so
Right. I mean,
true.
so
I'm sure
that's
there's a
in
mil.
your hand. You can't
Yeah,
say, "Oh yeah, I want this, but I'm not going to do anything to work to do
right.
the work that makes it happen."
Yeah, I'm sure there's a million variations of it, but at any rate,
Thank you. And
yeah.
reaching out to others. And reaching out to others.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
So tell us a little bit more about your background. People, I don't know if the folks know, but tell.
Well, right now I live here in Maryland, close to Joe, Silver Spring, Maryland.
Mhm.
But I was born in Ethiopia, long, long time ago. And my parents are from India, and they emigrated to the United States when I was pretty young. So,
Wow.
so I grew up here in the D.C. area. But I went back to school in India for a little bit in college. So I have this connection to India, not just my blood, but I have this spiritual connection to it too. I grew up in the church. That's why this song sounds sort of gospel, because I love that gospel harmony,
Mm,
and those. So that's basically where I come from.
yeah.
I was raised on Peter, Paul, and Mary, and Simon and Garfunkel, and Stevie Wonder, and Marvin Gaye, so all of those things kind of get thrown into one giant pot of soup, and stirred around a little bit.
I know what you mean.
Yeah.
So what's on your agenda these days? What are you up to? What are you looking forward to?
Well, I'm looking forward to being alive. And
Uh-huh.
I had a really severe health crisis about 3 years ago. I had stage 4 cancer and wasn't sure if I was going to make it or not. And so had a long, long surgery at GW Hospital, like 10, 12 hours, and made it through and, had chemotherapy and had radiation. And I'm still going to have chemo, once every 3 weeks. It's kind of a maintenance chemo, and I have it tomorrow. But I view every day that I wake up as a gift because I didn't think I was going to have it, you know.
I hear you.
And it has transformed my work, in a way to where I'm not really trying to impress anybody anymore. I'm just trying to sing because I feel like singing. And that's why we're all here.
Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely. There's healing in the song. There's healing.
sure is, yes.
And healing and singing together.
Yeah, it sounds, a lot of times people say it and it sounds just like words, but man, I've been living it for 3 years.
I hear you, brother. I
Yeah,
hear you.
yeah.
Alrighty. So, can you tell us about $20 bill?
Why, sure, yeah. I sang it a few weeks ago here at this circle.
Okay.
I was in the middle of chemotherapy at the time. And for those of you who haven't had chemo, it just wrecks you, It takes away your energy and it feels like your purpose for living a lot, You just wake up and you're nauseous and all you want to do is go back to sleep. And so I was in that constant state, for months and months. And in the middle of it, it was May of 20, was it 2020? Yeah, May of 2020. And I was just basically a couch potato watching CNN. And it was back before I made my resolution not to watch the news anymore.
Mhm.
And I saw what happened to George Floyd. And I was horrified just like we all were. But it just kept hitting me, this idea that how absurd it was, Just just the idea of a human being losing their life over a $20 bill. I mean, how ridiculous. I mean, there's so many larger issues associated with George Floyd, endemic racism, and the history of this country, and, the cops and, how they deal with black people. Every time you and I, get in our car and drive, we have to look over our shoulder, especially if we're getting pulled over. It's not a thing of comfort. It's a thing of apprehension and trepidation. But when I was thinking about it, I just thought about the absurdity of him losing his life for a $20 bill. And so I just kind of kept the writing at that. These words just came to me during that time, and I wasn't in any condition to write a song. But I just promised myself I'd give it an hour, and so it came really, really quickly, and I did a video of it really quickly and posted it online, thinking, oh, nobody's going to see it anyway. But then it kind of took off, and I was really grateful for that, on so many levels.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you very much. It's powerful, and the link is in the chat room. If you missed him back in for MLK holiday week, you can catch that as well. So, shall we sing through the song one more time? Because I know there are lots of people who have written in the chat about needing prayer for family members or themselves, and I think that let's go through it together one more time.
Sure, sure. It was so nice to see you and talk to you today, and everybody on my screen. All these faces in little boxes on my screen. I send love to each and every one of you.
Thank you, brother.
Yeah. Do unto others as you'd have them do to you. So it is written, if we just listen to the gospel truth. There comes a time in every life to practice what you preach. God has no hands, God has no hands. What are you praying for? Some people say the Lord has his ways, but God has no hands but yours. If someone asks you as they walk past you for the shirt right off your back, do something better, bring them to shelter as if Jesus asked. For as you do the least of these, you do so unto me. God has no hands, God has no hands. What are you praying for? Some people say the Lord has his ways, but God has no hands but yours. God has no words, God has no voice, God has no heart, God has no choice without you. God has no hands, God has no hands. What are you praying for? Some people say the Lord has his ways, but God has no hands but yours. God has no hands but yours.
Yes.
Yes.
Thank you, brother. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for that healing. And this one's for you and other folks out there. I am sending you light to heal you, to hold you. I am sending you light to hold you in love. Two more times. I am sending you light to heal you, to hold you. I am sending you light to hold you in love. Last time. I am sending you light to heal you, to hold you. I am sending you light to hold you in love. Peace, love, solidarity forever. Take care, family. Okay, so Joe, do we say goodbye now?
We do say goodbye now. Start with saying goodbye to our good friends on Facebook and then take it away, Elise. Thank you so much.
All righty, to our good friends on Facebook, thank you so much. Thank you, Tom, of course. Thank you, Anna, for your tech. Thank you, JoJo, for all your stuff. Annette, thank you. Share.